the NASDAQ for a long time. We've got a critical Fed meeting going on this week or today. Hey, Eunice, how are you? So we have a pivotal Fed meeting going on in a few hours, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's about 3 hours from now. And Jerome Powell will kind of give his opinions on interest rates. But to my mind, the market is a discounting mechanism. The market is ahead of the news. So I have been seeing bearish price patterns in the NASDAQ set up for about the last 3-4 weeks. I've made a ton of money betting on the decline, buying put options. I'm short a bunch of stocks like Snow, like Zoom. Zoom is perhaps my favorite short bet right now. I know it's been a very popular, during the pandemic. It facilitated, a lot of our lives. But I think Zoom has got one of the most bearish chart patterns, and I think that this stock could fall a ton. Parth, how are you? We've got Jose, we've got Martini, Woshitz, Ton, Eunice. How you guys doing? Parth says, what do you think about XAU, USD? That's spot gold. I do think that despite popular opinion, I think gold has got another leg lower in it. I think it's going to head back to that 1670 level, maybe 1650 level. So I do think it's going to go lower. So let's see, somebody asked for a link to our website and our subscription products. So I don't really, let me just give you a link to our website. I'm going to be hosting a live event later if you guys want to check it out. So here is a link to our website. I'm just going to put it in the chat box here if you want to, check out our products. Let's see, the products page is right here. And if you want to check out our live event, just go to thepatterntrader.com/live tonight. And I'll be doing a live training. I'll be, showing you exactly what I'm looking at on the charts. Eldred said, are these live streams saved? I'm not sure what our team is doing with them. I think, it's a priority for people to, show up. So I'm not sure if they are. You may be able to message our support team and ask for copies of these live streams. So here is the registration link for tonight's webinar at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Dr. Dillon says, I have quite a lot of SQQ calls. Is it worth it to take some profit now? Well, today's going to be very volatile. That's for sure. But I think that, the direction of these markets is somewhat baked in the cake. And so while you might get a lot of volatility, I would hold on to these bets, Dr. Dillon. I would stay long the SQQQ. We have TradeFX. We've got Oi just joined. Ferno, how are you guys doing? Ference, nice to see you. You guys, any questions? You have anything you want to chat about? Garrett says, what's your opinion on QQQ? So QQQ is the ETF that tracks the NASDAQ. I'm heavily short NASDAQ. I've got bets all over the place. You can see that, Tesla is right now down about $4. So that's to me the barometer. The high on the SQQQs today is 1377. I'd put a buy stop at 1378 and buy more on new highs of the SQQ. The SQQQ is an inverse ETF, so it goes in the opposite direction of the NASDAQ. So if you think the NASDAQ's going down, the SQQQ is going to go higher. And it's triple leveraged. So if the NASDAQ goes down 3%, the SQQQ is going to go up 9%. So it's a mover, but it's one way to take a swing at this NASDAQ, which I think is going to go lower. We've got, a support band right here between 312 on the S&P, on the Qs, and like 318. So I think it's just going to muddle around here for the next couple of hours before we get the Fed rate decision. So Daniel, I don't give any opinions about brokers. You'll have to do your research. Make sure they're regulated. Um, let's see if I've missed any questions here. We have a ton of people here. So nice to speak to you guys. Let me know what's on your mind. Hey, Sergey, we've got Jay Lau. Sergey wants to take a look at Tilray. So I'm just going to pull these charts. I'm not sure. I don't know if you can, I guess you can't see my screen. I got to find a way maybe to make this more interactive. I just started using this program, and I'm not sure if there's a way for me to show you what I'm looking at on the chart. I'll just go to Tilray, TLRY. Check out the chart really quick. Yeah, that looks really bearish to me. We had a move from 67, and then it just kind of blew off, went right back to 21. Once you have these parabolic moves, they're usually over, except in the sake of GameStop, where you had two parabolic moves. You went from $4 to 500, back to 40, and then you went back to 400. So I actually bought some puts last week, deep in the money puts, and right now I'm just making a little bit. I expected the stock yesterday. The stock went to 170, and kind of traded higher. I think there's some subcommittee testimony on GameStop today. It's trading at the lows. It's trading at 215. The low's been 210. So I'm hoping that this goes lower today, and my puts expire on Friday. So I'm hoping to see this under $200 at some point. Ference wants to look at SMH. I'm not sure what that is. Is that semiconductor? Oh, this is it's the semiconductors. I see a right shoulder forming to the left shoulder. Again, I see so many bearish price patterns start forming in the NASDAQ. So, yeah, it looks like we're in the middle of the tennis court. The low is like 215. The high's been 260. We're in the middle. My gut would say that, we're kind of forming the right shoulder here. And, I would watch, look, if it goes over yesterday's high, which is around 245 or so, so we're just kind of muddling around here, but I just feel that, we'll probably go lower. So Ashen said, I've checked out your product. I want to know if you have a monthly subscription package. Ashen, message our support team and they'll help you out. I don't actually know what we do and what we charge. And, I just do the front end. I kind of do this business for enjoyment. To talk to guys like you, see what you're thinking, share thoughts about trading. And I make all of my money in trading. So, I've got a robust business here, but, really to me, it's about just getting to meet people. So Midiat says the NASDAQ is down, as you mentioned yesterday. Yeah, I think we're really going to get kicked in here. I know it's a controversial thing, but I think the indexes are going down 20% from here. S&P, Dow, and especially the NASDAQ. So let's see, we've got some people here. Parth, has a couple comments. Not quite sure. Eldred said, that's why I absolutely follow you. You are the real deal, Mark. Eldred, thanks a ton for that endorsement. I try hard. Amazon's been stuck in neutral for a while. We have a big double top, at the 3,400, and it's just treading water. So at the beginning of the year, I kind of said, I want to be out of all of the names, Apple, Amazon, all of the things that have been running up. And, so Amazon, I'm sure will go up over time. It's got a huge double top at 3,500. And, if the market softens, we might see a pullback, which is maybe a buying opportunity long term. But, frankly, right now, with the indexes and everything look like they're heading lower, I'm looking at the stocks that I want to be parked short. So for the last 3 months, I've really been struggling because the market's been going up. But I felt like it was a matter of time before they ended. So my big bet in the last couple of months has been Lyft, LYFT. I started buying it at $46, started unloading it, in the mid 60s. I still think it's going to go higher, but right now I'm looking at stocks to stay short because I think this is an environment where we could be going down for the next 3 months. And to me, the best bet on the board right now is ZM. I think we've got a huge bear price pattern, and probably going to go at least $100 lower in Zoom. So we're trading 328, about $5 lower. The low today was 325. I've been short since about 350, and I expect to keep adding to my shorts. So Gamal says, what is the support on the S&P on a pullback? Let's see where S&P is in this huge ascending, broadening triangle here. I think this is just the beginning of a down move. I'd say the next level of support is about 37.25. We're about 39.40 now, so about 200 S&P points lower. But I've got a feeling that we may be just at the beginning of a big move. Mustafa says, it's great that we have you, Mark. We're so lucky to be able to leverage your 40 years of expertise. So yeah, I don't like to advertise, my age, but I've been trading for a freaking long time here. So Mustafa says he's short the NASDAQ. So the old saying used to be, if you're not long, you're wrong. And now I think if you're not short, you're gonna get punched in the face. Chong says I'm short Dow Jones. I think again the Dow Jones had a very benign little narrow range bar last night. I had a webinar last night, and I said beware. So yeah, we haven't even broken the low of the small range last night. So I would put a sell stop under yesterday's low in the Dow. That price is about, the low is 32,780. So I put a sell stop at 32,775 on the Dow. And if it doesn't take you, then it goes up, then you don't get hit in. Mehmet says, do you have any long stocks? Yeah, there are stocks that I like, Simon Property Group and some very staid things, but now I'm kind of getting my mind geared to the other way, where I think that we're going to have a down environment for a while. And like I said, I'm just, so Carrie says, I added to my short Zoom position last night, thanks to you. So Carrie, you're welcome. I think you're going to have a nice ride on that. How are you shorting the Dow? What is the symbol? So, on most of these FX brokers around the world, they have an ability to short the Dow. It's called, the ticker symbol on my screen is Dow USD. But, there's all a bunch of equivalents. You'll have to look that up. There's the DIA, ETX. So, a bunch of ways to, get in the Dow. Carrie says, are you still long Uber? No, I cleared out of all of my my longs. Like I said, I'm like a dog with a bone. When I see something, I can't multitask. I don't want to be, have one, feeling here and one feeling there, and have all of these mixed feelings, if, things are going all over the place. So right now, I'm long some puts in the QQQs. And which are very, very, very risky. Anything can happen today. 500 points up, 500 points down. It could be just all kinds of fireworks today. So let me just see what's going on with this NASDAQ. I think it's just bouncing around in a trading range right now. Yeah, you just actually had a bit of a reversal down here. So I want to watch this area pretty carefully. We've made a little bottom. I just, when I draw a picture in my mind, I can't really see the NASDAQ going higher, but, look, anything can happen here. That's why I think for me, when I look at Zoom, the price action, suggests that notwithstanding anything that happens, NASDAQ goes up, down, whatever, it's just a matter of time before this thing, falls over. One of the bellwethers obviously is Tesla. I'm watching very carefully. It has a lot of resistance at the 720. Today we opened down $25, went down to 650. Then we made it all the way back to 685. And now we're, trading just a hair under, yesterday's close around 677. So I think that's going to, tell a big story today. And that's why I always say to our members, you have to wait till the close. to try and catch these moves intraday, it's just too big. So I still think Tesla is going to go lower, but you need a very wide stop in that. You need like a $40 stop. What else is going on? Nicole says, what are your expectations for triple Q? So, yeah, I'm looking at this weekly chart on the NASDAQ, and we made a new high for the week. And now, see, I look at how things close relative to the prior close. So the prior weekly close on the NASDAQ was about 12,979, somewhere in there. And we're 13,020. So we're about, 20 points away. So I look at how, so now you went and made a new high for the week. And if you start, crossing through the prior week's close, it starts to indicate a reversal, right? Where it makes a new high and now it's on its way to making a new low. So I watch how these prices dance around, trading ranges, prior week's range, prior day's range, whatever chart I'm looking at. And so it's going to be very important. So if we start going through 12,000, call it 980 on the NASDAQ, then it's going to constitute a reversal. And then that, will give it, a lot of power to the downside. So, but if it holds, right now we made a new high and, we're still kind of kilting around that area. So, I'm watching the unchanged level for the week on that NASDAQ. But right now we are hooking down where we went and made a new high earlier in the week. And now gravity's starting to pull this thing down. So, watch the unchanged on the week. If it starts going through there, it probably is going to pick up a lot of steam. Ajik says, what do you think about Tesla? I do think it's going to go lower. So there's a big distribution area at 720. And, we've flirted around there. What is today? So we have a bunch of what I call, today we got under the last 5 days trading range. So about 5 days ago, the low was 653. And today we got a hair under there. We went to 651. And so I do think that we've kind of violated the low of the last 5 days. We've been kind of just consolidating, each day one inside the other, small little inside bars. Today we snuck a little bit underneath there, but now we've bounced up. So now it's going to be very important to see how it closes. So it's kind of arbitrary where it's going to go, in the next couple of hours. I think by making a new low for the week that, the tone is lower, but right now you have a reversal where the market went lower in the morning and now you're trading on the high of the day. So if it closed up here, it would, mean something very different than if it closes, under like say 660. So I watch how, markets close, but I think the patterns are such that this thing looks like the next trajectory is going to be lower. But it's very dicey in here. The market's, in this very large inflection point, where it's either going to go or it's not going to go. So Thomas, I'm not long the puts of Zoom. I'm short the stock. I got shorted about 349. We're trading about 327.5 now. Low has been 325.5. GameStop is 216. I'm long some puts in those and they expire in 2 days. So I'm basically, my break even was about $230 on these puts for Zoom. And now it's about 216. So I'm making a little bit, but nothing to, so what else is going on here? So Matt, thanks for that. You guys have a great day too. Sherry says, I see 13,000 is the key. So yeah, a little bit under 13,000 would basically send this thing, lower. So Sherry says, I don't understand what you mean by unchanged for N. It's already low. So I'm talking about the weekly range, Sherry. I'm sorry if I didn't clarify that. So I'm talking about the weekly bar. We made a new high over last week's high, and now we're coming down to about where last week's close was. I think 12,980 is where last week's close, not yesterday, last week. So the bigger the bar, the bigger the time frame, the more impactful the meaning is. So it's one thing to see something on a daily thing, but if you see a key reversal on a weekly, that means for the next part of the week, for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, it's probably going to keep going lower. Sergey says, do you look at company finances or only technical analysis? I have no clue, nor do I care what the company finances are. So, the thing about the market is that it's a discounting effect. The market doesn't care about what the earnings report was. An earnings report could come out and it could show, ballistic earnings. And then the market's down. You go, well, why? The earnings were great. Because the market is saying to me, okay, now I've seen what you've done last quarter. What are you going to do next quarter and the quarter beyond? And so in the case of Zoom, all of its earnings were compressed in this pandemic where it facilitated everybody's lives. Everybody signed up. Now with the reopening, less people are going to be using it. They'll still be using it, but they're going to go back to work. They're going to, do other things with their lives. And so you're faced with decelerating cash flows. And now interest rates are going higher. So now you have to discount those cash flows at a higher interest rate to create the present value of the future cash flow. Now that's just all garbage. I just look at the price analysis because to me it's all about timing. I can have whatever thoughts I have about any market, but it's all about right now. Certainly, if you're in a leveraged product, if you've got puts, or if you're betting on these these FX platforms, I'm very leveraged. So it's not about what's going to happen a month from now. It's what's happening now. And so I look for the, to technical analysis to tell me when to get or how to hop on board a trade and how to set a risk reward. So it's all about, it's not, I think we so much romance about our entry and where things are going to go. But it's all about, okay, if things don't work out, what's your plan there? So it's about setting a risk reward. So, if I get it short at 350 on Zoom, put my risk at 370, and then my reward is, 100, $80 to $100. So I've got a $20 risk to make $80 to $100. So a 4 to 5 to 1. So I set up my trade with a certain parameter. And if I lose, I lose. Right? That's just life. You go on and you make another trade. I already, said that I think gold is going to go lower. Again, it's going to be a very volatile day today. We had a key reversal in gold last week, so we have a bit of support between 1670 and 1820. But I do believe that higher interest rates are kryptonite to gold, and I think rates are going to keep going higher. And so on the daily, we have some resistance to key reversals at 1740, and I see this thing going lower. Mustafa, thanks for ticking the like button. Yeah, I don't know where these things are either. Gamal wants to know WMT, Walmart. So Walmart, Costco, all of these loved stocks are really getting battered. The charts don't look very friendly right now. Yeah, this is sitting on a big trend line, just like the Nasdaq. And at the lows, if we take out the lows, I think there's some big room underneath there. So it looks like we double topped at 153, and there's a large distribution, and now we've got kind of this funky head and shoulders going on here. So I think Walmart is going to go lower. So MR says GBP. I assume you mean GBP USD. GBP. I like GBP NZD long. I'm heavily long pound New Zealand. GBP USD. I think the dollar is going to have some support here. I think there's going to be a flight to safety. So with rates going higher, people can now park their assets in safe havens and get a return. Where last year you were getting 0% return. In Europe, you've got negative return. Now the 10-year in the United States went over 160 today. So now you're going to see a flight to quality, flight to safety. People will probably go into the dollar, sell gold, sell stocks. So Brent, I don't know if I can show my screen. I have to figure out if there's some way that I can make it interactive to show my screen. Right now, I don't know how to do that. So maybe there is a way with these effects. I'll figure it out for the next time. I'm just starting to use this platform, so I'm not sure if I can make this interactive or not. What is your opinion on NFT? I'm assuming you're meaning non-fungible tokens. If that's the case, then if you've got a $70 million for a piece of meme art, then go ahead and be my guest. But I think it's just, NFTs, SPACs, IPOs, Bitcoin. I think we've had a huge speculative environment. We've had a system, awash with a lot of money. And I think, that's going to get flushed out, and a lot of people are going to get hurt. And that's why, I think when this NASDAQ comes down, it's going to come down so much harder than people think. NASDAQ's starting to float lower now. Somebody says, Ish says, do you teach technical analysis? That's what I do at the Pattern Trader. So check out, I put a link to our live thing. I'm going to, do some chart analysis, show you how I assess trades tonight at 4 p.m. thepatterntrader.com/live. I did put the link there. I'll put the link in again. Check it out. It's absolutely free. All it requires is your presence. Sergey says, thank you for sharing your knowledge. Yeah, look, I've been staring at these freaking screens for, more decades than I'd like to and I think I've learned it too. And so I really started the Pattern Trader to give back. I mean, yeah, it's a nice business, but I love meeting and talking to people like you guys. And Ajik says, wow, I'm long pound New Zealand. So yeah, to me, it's in a stealth bull market. I'm heavily long pound New Zealand. I think the risk reward is phenomenal on this trade. So we'll see what happens. It's kind of, been backing and filling between this 192 and 194. I put a buy stop at 195 and just, walk away. Chris says, I'm long Australian Canadian. I think that pair is coming off a little bit. I was aggressively long it, but now it looks like it's got a head and shoulders top and probably likely to go lower. So I bail out of that position. Luke says, do you think yields will reach 2% and what will be the fallout? So I don't really care. I'm not an economist. I just look at what the market is doing, and why it's doing it is irrelevant. So, if I told you lost all your money and then I offered you a reason why, would you care? So, to me, the reasons are irrelevant. It's when and how much, and then how much do you have to risk? Those are the considerations that I put on any trade. What is this thing looking like? What is the risk reward? Can I assess my risk? And is it worth taking the trade? So I have to see that the reward is bigger than the risk for me to take a trade. I'm not darting in and out of the market for 7 pips here or a buck here or a buck there. I'm short Zoom for $50, $80, $100 profit. I don't really care where it goes, today, up and down. It opened at 328. It went back to 333. I was making $5 on the thing. I was losing $5, and now it's on the low of the day, down like $8-9. So I'm not even watching it. My objective is 275 on this thing, 250, 200. I think this thing's just going to fall out of bed. So Lizanto says, I can't wait for tonight. I really appreciate your ideas and your honesty. Keep it up. All right, guys, I think I'm going to love and leave you there. Seller says, since I met you, I'm more patient than ever. And even my girlfriend is surprised. So I'm glad I could give your girlfriend a gift, Cello. So All right, guys. If you want to, I'll be live in a few hours. We'll see what the Fed outcome is. It's going to be a hoot. It's going to be a real carnival ride today. But you have to keep your eyes on the picture. So what I mean by the picture is that I've been looking at this head and shoulders top in the Nasdaq. But in the last week or two, it's been rallying. The Nasdaq hit or the triple Qs hit 297 about 2 weeks ago, and then rallied yesterday to about 323. All they've been doing is rallying, and every day I'm watching this thing rallying, and I'm saying, keep your eye on the picture. Keep your eye on the picture. So it's all about the discipline. It's hard to do, right? So this is why I get paid the big bucks, because you got to have nerves of steel, and you got to stick to your analysis. So, I've been listening to 5 hours. You can see the TV behind me here. Every night there's, the Fast Five, and I hear these analysts and nothing but bullish sentiment. And then I heard an economist last night, and he put the fear of God in me. I think he was an economist in the Trump administration, very well-spoken guy, very intelligent guy. He said, look, the Fed is not going to rock the boat. This will be the first time since 1983 that we've had GDP at 7%. They don't want to, mess with this. They don't want to mess with the stock market. They don't want to do this thing, so you've got nothing but, tailwinds behind you. And, look, I'm short. And I'm thinking, this guy's makes sense. But that's why you can't listen to anybody. You don't even listen to me. Listen to the markets. The markets are pointing you in the way this thing wants to go. This head and shoulders that I made $1 million in the last 3 weeks, betting on that thing, is still there. And yes, we had a fright. We went up, and that's what happens. Short covering rallies are hellacious, and that's what you're going to see today. Markets will go down, and then we'll rally up like 300 points. I mean, they're scary. Short covering rallies are the most frightening things to endure. And while you're in there, you're second guessing yourself. Like, this thing is going to take me out. And that's why you have to keep your eye on the picture and say, is the picture still there? Has it been violated? And if it hasn't, then you just got to walk away to preserve your sanity. All right, guys, I'll see you tonight at 4 o'clock.